Good afternoon, baseball fans. It is Monday, January 29th, and this is Season 2, Episode 56 of Bourbon and Baseball, All the Balls edition. I am Suzy, that is Kelsey, and away we go. We don't have any bourbon though, because it's like in the middle of the afternoon and still have to
no,
anything.
Suzy, I did have plenty of, well, not bourbon. That probably would have been a better choice. But my brother cracked open this Elvis peanut butter and banana and bacon flavored whiskey.
That was way too many words in front of whiskey. What?
Yes. And I'm usually not into those sorts of things, but I guess I had already been enjoying beverages enough earlier in the evening that by the time this was presented to me, it sounded and ultimately tasted like a good idea. So, yeah, no,
Repeat those things again, though. What?
Well, I guess Elvis used to, like, there's some sort of correlation with him and his favorite snack being like a peanut butter and banana and bacon sandwich.
Peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwich. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
called, the whiskey is called Midnight Snack, and it has a big picture of Elvis on the front of it. And
but like Elvis in his prime, not like fat Elvis.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That enticing Elvis that's going to make you think that this kind of whiskey is any kind of a good idea. And you know what? In the moment, I guess for maybe a couple hours of my life there it was, but I am done with whiskey, bourbon, any kind of it, at least for a week or so after that. So I'm good. How about you?
That's fair. That's fair. I haven't drank any sort of bourbon for quite some time. I haven't actually had any alcohol for quite a while. For as much as I talk about alcohol, I very rarely drink alcohol.
Yeah, I'm quite the same. Like, I enjoy it when I do, but I actually I appreciate kind of the taste of it more than anything else. Like, I like in pairing it with things and stuff like that. But I mean, I will go weeks, a month without drinking and not even think about it. And yeah, after my experience this weekend, it's my family, man, especially my brother. My sister wasn't there to have in on the fun this time, and so I feel like we just had too much fun to try to make up for her not being there. So Katie, not drinking whiskey with Jake without you again.
That's hysterical. Now, were you shooting this whiskey? Were you
No.
sipping vigorously? Like what were you doing?
We were like drinking it just over ice, but I think because it was so sweet, especially like, and it has a very unique flavor to it, like it was just good. At least at that point in the evening for me. And then we made like hot toddies with it. We put it like in some tea, and that was really good. Oof.
Okay.
But
so I've not done that combo, but I do have a peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
I've paired it with cranberry juice.
Mm.
And actual like whiskey drinkers are just having a conniption right now.
Yes, I'm sorry. If you're here for the real bourbon, we're like upsetting everyone right now.
Yeah. It tasted like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I was okay with it. I was okay with it. But I'm like, look, I'm old enough now and I've been on this earth for too long that I need to enjoy what goes in my mouth. Like, if I don't enjoy what goes in my mouth, like, why? If it doesn't taste good, why is it going in my mouth?
Not a chance.
And so it needs to be delightful. It needs to taste good. I need to describe it as adult Kool-Aid. I'm just saying.
I fully
support
what
gets
this.
You in trouble.
And the thing is, I was drinking my pretentious biodynamic wine. That is the only kind of wine I drink now because it doesn't make me feel like shit, doesn't give me a headache. It's like biodynamic is like the next level organic. So it's like organic and then some. It's even better. And yeah, I am not that sophisticated to tell you more about it than that. But I went to this winery. I had this wine. Not only was it delicious, but it changed my life because red wine didn't give me a headache for the first time ever. And it didn't dry me out, and I like really enjoyed it. So I was drinking that, enjoying that before we got to the peanut butter, bacon, banana whiskey. And like, God, why did I take that sharp left turn? I'm blaming my brother.
Seemed like a good idea.
It was all me. I'm an adult here. I'll take responsibility for my decisions. And I guess I should just be glad that I had some good company in my mom and my brother to enjoy it with me.
That's true.
I'm gonna stick to my pretentious wine, is what I'm saying.
That's hysterical. I'm not an adult and I don't drink wine ever. Literally ever. I think the first wine that I will actually drink, and real wine drinkers will scoff at me, is Moscato. That's like really the only wine that I will drink. And every time I say that to a wine drinker, they're like, oh, and they just make that face. I'm sorry, I'm not an adult. I apologize. And then they do have, I do have a whiskey flavored wine. So
Oh,
it's wine that has been aged in whiskey barrels. And that was an interesting experience. That's all it's
oh,
interesting.
yeah. Okay.
So
I've enjoyed
yeah.
some like stouts that have been aged in whiskey barrels before, but
Is
never
that
a
a type of beer?
yeah,
Is
type of beer.
okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
never a wine. I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah. So it's I would say it's fun stuff, but it's really not. Like I it was the only thing at the wine bar that I could have because they were out of Moscato that I was like,
Yeah,
So yeah.
Moscato's like too sweet for me, which is normally why this flavored whiskey would not have been my jam, but obviously we're so cultured, so continental here on Bourbon and Baseball.
Right? For sure. Yeah. So I'm going to give you guys the warning. This is a rated R podcast for all of the adult language um, and inappropriate adult humor because that's just who I am as a person. So if expletives are not your thing, totally okay, but probably not the correct podcast for you. So if there are tiny ears listening and or like people who get offended by the F bomb, then that's probably not it. There are other shows that I'm on that PG-13 Suzy makes an appearance. But this is rated R Suzy over here. So is Peace, Love, and Baseball a little bit more PG-13 or is that more
Yeah,
rated R?
yeah, for
No, okay.
sure. Yeah, I've
Okay.
had mostly just like the episodes you've been on. No, some other ones too, where we kind of let it fly a little more loosely. But yeah, generally, I mean, I get it, right? You just don't have to worry about about saying this, about putting it out there. But the listeners, we want you to appreciate that we do put it out there, so you know, and
Right.
we just come as you are. We don't have to worry about it for today.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So yeah, so if you want to enjoy more PG-13 rated content, head over to Kelsey's Peace, Love, and Baseball. There's less cussing. But over here, there's all the cussing. Because that's who I am as a person. So with that said, we're going to jump in to our first segment that we have adopted in this off season, called the 40-man find. And Kelsey, why don't you tell the people that fun?
Yeah, so we
Maybe a little
are
bit.
clicking right along here. Our plan is to finish up just in time for the start of the regular season, I think, or maybe spring training. Are we going to be done by spring training? I'm not sure, but we're going to get through all the teams. I think we're about halfway through now, and each
Mm-hmm.
week I cover a player from a team in the American League, and Suzy covers a player from a team in the National League. Since our fandoms are of the opposite leagues, we are opening our minds and bringing you in to meet a new player that we are also familiarizing ourselves with. So we've gone in order from the teams who have lost the most to the winningest teams. We're right in the middle here. And this week, we're going to talk about players from the Yankees organization and the Cincinnati Reds, and just tell you about a guy that maybe you should keep your eye on for the upcoming season. Maybe there's some fun facts about him that you don't know about yet. And most of all, just a guy that we'd like to shake hands with, maybe have a beer with, maybe shoot some Elvis midnight snack peanut butter whiskey with. Someone that, seems cool and is worth highlighting here on Bourbon and Baseball. Suzy, do you want to go first this week and tell us about your Cincinnati Reds find?
Sure. So my Cincinnati Reds find, there was, not gonna lie, I had trouble picking my guy because there was so many that I wanted to highlight because that Cincinnati Reds team is just chock full of young rookies that you don't know much of unless you
Totally.
follow the team very, very closely. And I am a casual Cincinnati Reds follower. So I was familiar with the name, but not overall, like, where he came from and all that fun stuff. So I had a lot of fun dissecting information about the starting second baseman for next season. We think he's going to be the starting second baseman next season. MattMcClain. So Matthew Michael McClain, they love the alliteration there, was born in Tustin, California on August 6th, 1999, which makes him 24 years old, and which makes me feel very, very old because I was a junior in high school then. Love that for me. He's the oldest of three boys. His two younger brothers, Sean and Nick, also play baseball. And fun fact, when they were all on their high school baseball teams, they were named the Bash Brothers.
All right.
I love that. Yeah.
Setting the stage.
Adorable. He attended Arnold O. Beckman High School in Irvine, California. And in 26 games his senior year, he slashed a ridiculous 369, 461, and a 595 slug.
Okay.
He had 6 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 16 walks. And in 2018, he was the 25th overall draft pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did not know that he
No.
had been drafted more than one. I was like, I'm sorry, what now? And both in the first round, I was like, oh, all right, MattMcClain, I see you.
Wow.
However, that 25th overall draft pick, that slot is worth $2,636,400. But he declined it because he said, you know what, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go play for UCLA. And he was a UCLA Bruin for all the years. And Mike Hazen, the general manager of the Diamondbacks, kind of said that, we know that this was kind of on the horizon. He wasn't going to go as far as to say that it was because of money. But there were little hints that maybe MattMcClain wanted them to go over slot, and the Diamondbacks weren't willing. So they were like, okay. So I did read an article that said that Matt said that he wanted to go to college and have that college experience, gain that experience of playing for a college coach, get a little bit stronger, get a little bit smarter. And they said when he re-entered the draft in 2021 that his baseball IQ had been heightened. And I was like, oh, okay then. So
yeah, well, good for him for knowing like that's what he needed to do. I think that would be like a really interesting interview series to do, of just interview like different players who either decided to be drafted right out of high school or opted to play college ball. And like there's got to be so many variables to those decisions, but hopefully it's working out for him.
Yeah. So fun fact, in that 2018 draft class for the Diamondbacks, in which he declined, the 39th round pick, not the 39th round, I'm sorry, the 39th overall pick, was outfielder Jake McCarthy from University of Virginia. Okay. And then with the 63rd pick, it was high schooler Alek Thomas. And if you are familiar with the Diamondbacks, you will know that both of those are currently on the Diamondbacks. Alek Thomas was a really big contributor to that World Series team. Jake McCarthy has been kind of up and down. He's kind of on that bubble this season. There's been trade rumor talk, but that neither here nor there. MattMcClain went to UCLA. So anyways, in the summer of 2018, he played in the West Coast League with the Bellingham Bells. And he was awarded the Top Prospect Award. So as a freshman in 2019, he played in 61 games, with 60 of those games being starts. I was like, oh, okay, MattMcClain, I see you.
Wow. He
slashed 203, 276, and 355 with 4 home runs and 30 RBIs. Also, another little fun fact. according to his baseball reference page, MattMcClain is a short king, as in he is listed as 5'8".
My guy today is kind of short too. That's interesting.
So, but here's the other, I guess, fun portion of that. According to Baseball America, in 2018, he was listed as 5'10".
That's very different.
And I'm all, I don't know what to make of that. Because on Baseball Reference, they seem to be a little bit more generous than, they normally are. So if Baseball Reference is calling him 5'8",
right?
I'm like, did he shrink? Like, is he really like 5'6"? Is he like Altuve size? I need to know these things. So,
hey, whatever. The man can play baseball.
Yeah. So, Reds fans, if you are here, please let me know.
Weigh in
and tell me, is he a short king? Like, I think he is a short king because I've watched enough Reds games to know that he is a little bit shorter. But is he, 5'8", 5'10", 5'6"? Like, where is he? I'd like to know. So, anyways, in 2021, that is when he entered the draft and was the overall 17th round, not 17th round. Dang it, 17th pick.
I knew. And
that slot worth is $3,609,700. So, just a wee bit higher. And between the Arizona Complex League and High A of that year, in 31 games, he slashed 283, 389 with a 462 slug. So our short king can hit some balls. He hit 3 home runs. Yeah. 3 home runs, 19 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. In 2022, he played for the AA Chattanooga Lookouts. I love all these minor league names, by the way. They make me happy. In 103 games, he slashed 232, 363 with a 453 slug. He hit 17 home runs, 58 RBIs, and stole 27 bags. So between high school and college and all of these, he bounced between shortstop and second base.
Okay.
If you know anything about the Red system, they've got a shortstop that is not short at all. No, he is in fact the opposite of that. He's very tall. His name is Ellie De La Cruz. So they're like, MattMcClain, may I interest you in second base? So, but there's, I guess, also mixed feelings on that too.
I mean, if he is like, significantly under 6 feet, I feel like he'd just be better suited there too.
Yeah. Well, and Jonathan India used to play second base, and it's a whole thing. And so, it's there's Red fandom, kingdoms, shall I say, of who fandoms, who wants to play where and all that fun stuff. So it's interesting. So anyways, but in 2023 for the AAA Louisville Bats, and in my head I'm all, is that like a bat? Is that like the animal bat? Is it like a baseball? Like, what is your mascot? I need to know these things as well.
Or a bat. I feel like it's a bat. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Louisville.
Right? Like a with like a face on it, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
In 2023, he started in AAA, played 38 games, and this slash line is just fucking stupid. I had to read it like 3 times to make sure that I actually wrote it down correctly, because I'm all, surely that's not right. Listen to me now. His slash line was a 348 batting average, a 474 on base percentage, and a 710 slug. A 710 slug. I was like, what? Yeah. So
how many
he hit 12 home runs in 38 games. Okay. 38. Yeah. 12 home runs, 40 RBI, and 10 stolen bases. So like an RBI a game, essentially.
And he runs too.
Yeah.
You've sold me.
May 16th, he got called up. And in 89 games for the Reds, he slashed 290, 357 with a 507 slug. Like, Short
Damn.
King can get it.
Yeah.
Just all the balls out of the park. And, American, what is that? What American value? No, American Great Field? No. Great American,
Great American
what?
Ballpark. Great American
Ballpark. Thank you.
Small Park is what they
Small
call
park.
it.
Yeah. I guess they're saying that his slug or his home run count would be lower if he played somewhere
Sure.
else. But I mean, like a 507 slug, that's still very good.
And
Anyways,
also, like, he doesn't. So
yeah.
that's kind of all there is to it at the end of the day.
So he hit 16 home runs and 50 RBI and stole 14 bags. And
Wow.
he just played kind of all over the place last season because he played he played 53 games at shortstop and then 37 games at second. And so looking at Fangraphs roster resource this year for this upcoming season, it says that he will be shortstop. So we shall see what actually happens with him.
So what would Ali De La Cruz do if he wasn't playing shortstop? Does he move over somewhere? I don't even know. Can he play outfield, or he plays third too?
He plays. I think he plays third.
Yeah.
I want to say that they played him in the outfield too, but they've got a gluttony of outfielders as well.
Right.
And so, yeah.
All right. You have increased my intrigue with the Reds already.
Yeah. So, last fun fact that I have about MattMcClain, he got Rookie of the Year votes for the NL last season.
Nice.
So he was 5th in the NL Rookie of the Year voting with 5 points. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I mean, it really, I say
that's something though.
Really and truly, like, Corbin Carroll ran away with it. James Outman got some votes as well, but like he got 5 points. He got 1 second place vote and 2 third place votes. But he beats out Spencer Steer and Ellie De La Cruz, teammates of him. So, like, when I tell you that Cincinnati Reds team is just chock full of young talent, like this is what I mean. So
that's a really good pick though, because Ellie De La Cruz, I think, like, I forget that he didn't get brought up until so late into the season because, like, the hype around him was just insane. So he is, like, the first rookie that we all think about right now when we think about the Reds, but there's so many more. And I knew very little about him. So I'm glad that I do now.
Yes. So MattMcClain, our short king. I'm going to call you my short king until we prove otherwise. This is what's happening. So I do apologize if that is offensive to you, but my short king is Jose Altuve, and I think that's a very, very good, wonderful comp. So I'm just saying.
I've got to find out how tall Baseball Reference says my guy is now. No, yeah, that is okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's not as short of a king, but my New York Yankees star prospect, Jasson Dominguez, who I'm going to tell you about today, is listed as 5'9" on baseballreference.com, and he is an outfielder.
Okay.
Yeah, he was born on February 7th, 2003 in Esperanza, which is a municipality of the Valverde province in the Dominican Republic. And according to Jeff Passan, shout out Jeff Passan via ESPN, Jasson is the second of 6 children, and his father, Felix, is a former baseball player and a huge Yankees fan. So he named his son after Yankees first baseman Jason Giambi. Jasson Dominguez has 2 S's in his first name, though. I'm not sure. That must be a more common Dominican spelling of it or something. But Passan reports that Jasson Dominguez signed with the trainer Ivan Noboa at age 13, which I guess is a very common age for things like that to happen in the Dominican Republic system. And Dominguez played as a catcher before transitioning into a center fielder, according to a New York Post article by Dan Martin. He is considered to be a 5-tool player, and that is, I feel like we throw that term around a lot, but maybe, depending on what level you are at your fandom, you may or may not know what that really means. But a 5-tool player is a position player who has great skill in all the tools or the basic skills, which are hitting for average, hitting for power, base running, and speed, and throwing and fielding. So he does all the things. That's the dream. That's what you want to be, to get paid the most.
Side note, that scale, how they rank that, it's not a 100, 100 being the best. No, it's an 80.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an 80.
confusing.
It's so confusing. We'll get into it on another thing, but just in case you ever hear of somebody having 80 grade speed or 80 grade power, that's the best.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top of the line. That is a good point of discussion to come back to. But at some point during his training, someone referred to him as El Marciano, which is Spanish for the Martian, because his talent was not of this world. Very clever. We love it, but it stuck. And that is what you will hear him being referred to as by the Yankees fandom far and wide. Someone, but who? Like, I really want to know who coined this nickname. If you're out there, if you're listening, and you were the first person during his training to call Jasson Dominguez the Martian, take some credit.
Right? Drop it in the comments, guys.
Right.
If you know who did it, if you can point us to a article, I would love
Sources.
that. Please and
We're
thank you.
looking for him. So according to MLB 2019 Prospect Watch, Dominguez was ranked as the top prospect eligible to sign with any MLB team in the 2019-2020 international class. He signed with the Yankees for a franchise record $5.1 million signing bonus on July 2nd of 2019, receiving the majority of the Yankees' $5.4 million total allotment for international signings that year. So they're in on him. He did not play in 2020 due to the cancellation of the minor league baseball season resulting from the pandemic, of course, and instead he trained at a baseball academy in Santiago. So in June of 2021, he made his professional debut with the Florida Complex League Yankees, a rookie-level Florida Complex League, and he was selected to represent the Yankees in the 2021 All-Star Futures game. Dominguez became the first prospect to appear in the All-Star Futures game without having played a full season in the minor leagues. Come on over. We already know you're a star.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees promoted him to the Tampa Tarpons of the Low A Southeast League after the Futures game. There he batted 4 for 20 with 6 strikeouts, 6 walks. And he batted .258 with 5 home runs and 18 runs batted in 49 games once he got bumped up. So he's kind of just like checking the boxes. They seem to be moving him up through the system pretty quickly. He began the 2022 season with Tampa, and he appeared in the 2022 All-Star Futures game, and then he was promoted to the Hudson Valley Renegades, High A. And when Hudson Valley season ended, the Yankees promoted Dominguez to the Somerset Patriots, Double A, for their last few regular season games, and he played in the postseason with their Double A team. The New York Post reported that the Yankees invited Dominguez to spring training as a non-roster player in 2023, and they ended up assigning him to the Somerset Double-A team to begin the 2023 season. He got promoted to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Whale Riders. Let me try that again. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Maybe that's what I said. I think I said Whale Riders.
The first time you said Whale Riders, which I was like, that could be legitimately be a mascot,
like,
because
choo, here comes the train. We are not riding whales, to be clear. AAA Rail Riders. The AAA Rail Riders.
Right. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Comes up to play with them on August 22nd. And he won the Eastern League Top MLB Prospect Award at the end of the 2023 season. But Kelsey, we saw him in the major leagues in 2023. We did. He was only in AAA for a week and a day. And on September 1st, 2023, the Yankees promoted Dominguez to the major leagues. And he made his major league debut that day. Suzy remembers it well because it was against the Houston Astros. And he hit a home run off the first swing in his first at bat against none other than Justin Verlander. Welcome back to Houston, JV. Yep. So you knew exactly who I was talking about when I said Jasson Dominguez, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Certain people are surely more familiar with him already than others because he made his mark, but it was quite short-lived. According to ESPN, with that home run, Dominguez became the youngest player in team history to hit a home run in his major league debut, and he surpassed Whitey Lockman as the youngest in MLB history to do so in their first plate appearance. Sick. On September 10th, Dominguez was diagnosed with a torn UCL requiring Tommy John surgery, and it ended his season 9 days after his promotion to the big leagues, breaking Yankees fans' hearts across the world. This recovery, of course, is expected to take about 9 to 10 months, so he was placed on the IL the next day. and not before hitting 4 home runs in just 8 games in his major league debut. You also might have heard of Jasson Dominguez in the world of baseball news recently, because there's like an increase, a speculation surrounding age fraud, which is supposedly on the rise in the Dominican Republic. Now, this is something that's been talked about, speculated on for a really long time. I'm most familiar with it because of Albert Pujols of St. Louis Cardinals fame. Like, everyone thinks he's like 60 years old, but he supposedly turned 44 this year.
I don't believe that.
Know.
Nope. Absolutely not.
You don't think he's 44?
No. I'm 42. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't think you think he looks old. Like, I don't think he looks old.
He definitely looks older than 44.
Everyone ages so differently. I don't think he does, but
that man is pushing 50. Very, very easily. That man is pushing 50.
Wouldn't that be even more impressive then? Because he did what he did at almost 50 years old then, if that's really true?
Yes.
I don't know. It's wild.
Like,
I guess I've been looking more into this and trying to get up to speed on it. I mean, obviously it's a very convoluted situation and not one that they've been trying to solve it, for a long time now. And there's, many layers to why it is so problematic. But what I don't fully understand and what I need to get more up to speed on is like where obviously there's some benefit in the way that a number of people are able to make money off of these players. And that's what I know that's what it comes down to, but I need to understand where that actually factors in. Like, how does it help to make them older? I guess just because they can start making money off of them.
No. It helps to make them younger.
Yeah.
So
they get longer contracts.
Yeah. So when Jasson Dominguez signed at 13, and I'm not saying that he's part of this. I'm just saying when he signed at 13, he may really have been 16, 17, 18. And if he was actually 16, 17, 18, they would have given him less money because he's older. Right. And so, like the older you are, the less money that you're going to receive.
Years of, you're less of your prime years. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like on the same side or the other side of the same coin, it's problematic in the other way. So I don't know, but clearly there's a reason why this keeps happening. And if you want to look more into it, there's a great article that came out, I think just yesterday, or maybe it was Friday, in The Athletic by Evan Drellich and Ken Rosenthal. It's called Age Fraud on the Rise in the Dominican Republic, Sowing Chaos for MLB Teams and Young Players. And there's been articles that have come out after that and all kinds of things speculating that Jasson Dominguez, is he somehow older than like Juan Soto? Supposedly Jasson Dominguez is 20 and Juan Soto is 25. I'm like, you think he's that much older?
Wow.
I don't know, but there's all kinds of crazy theories out there. And at the end of the day, I think the important thing to remember is that when this happens, regardless of if he was 13 or 17 or whenever, like these things are happening and whoever it's happening to, they're children and they are the ultimate victims of it. And that's just unfortunate. But Dominguez has participated in leading training camps for kids in New Jersey through FlexWorks Sports, which is cool to see. He was able to get involved with that in this past season. And then Yankees manager Aaron Boone was asked in an interview on SNY recently about Dominguez's rehab and his outlook for 2024. And Boone said that his rehab is, quote, going exactly how it should be going right now. He is just 2.5 months. This was just 2.5 months after his surgery. So this is about a month or so ago that this interview came out with Boone. And he said he's sure he'll be swinging when we're in spring training. He's also quoted saying, "I love the makeup. I love the talent, and I'm excited about his future as a center fielder, as a left fielder, potentially down the road in our yard, depending on what our roster makeup is." So Yankees fans, if you're listening, you know all about Jasson Dominguez and you're hype and you're super into him. And if you're not up to speed on him already, you certainly will be. I would think by the All-Star break, they're going to put him back into the mix. And I don't know, do you think he's going to go straight back to the major leagues after, a rehab assignment? Or with the way that the Yankees roster is made up right now, I'm not sure how he slots right in.
I think it will depend on how well Trent Grisham and Alex Verdugo and that whatever outfield mess they have over there. Like, I think if Trent Grisham is hitting the cover off the ball, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it doesn't
think
really
maybe
matter
they'll
because they clearly can't do without the depth, and that's a good problem for them to have.
Yeah.
But that will be an exciting time for Yankees fans when Jasson Dominguez is healthy and back at it.
For sure. Again, I need the hot stove to get a little bit hotter, and I need all of these free agents to get off the board so that we can talk about all of these rosters, because I don't want to talk about the rosters when there's still major players left.
Right. Yes, we have roster changing players who rosters could be built around, who are still on the board. It's really wild. I know that there's some good stuff that's come out from some of our favorite writers about why this is the way that it is. Have you kept up on any of that? I've got some articles saved that I have yet to really dive into.
Not really. It's just been from what I've gleaned from various like things that I would start to read, and then I would see something shiny and then not finish it. Essentially, like the big ones left: Jordan Montgomery, CodyBellinger,
Blake Snell,
all Scott Boras clients. And Scott Boras is really not in any hurry
to
sign. Like JD Martinez, I think he's gone into February, I think last season. They don't care. Okay. Just, and I'm still really I'm really confuzzled by all of that. I mean, I guess they've made their money and they're just like, I know we're going to get signed somewhere, but I feel like the longer they wait, like the more, I don't know, the less offers they're going to get. I don't know. Like the fact that CodyBellinger hasn't even received an offer, like not even one.
That's the latest kind of headline that I was really intrigued by, was that Bob Nightingale reported that CodyBellinger has not received a formal contract offer from any Major League Baseball team yet. And I mean, there's a number of reasons for that, and all we can do is speculate. But we do know that Boras is looking for a $200 million plus deal for CodyBellinger. NAZ being that demanding of it that no one's even going to make an offer unless it's over $200 million for one good season, I guess. Because I mean, I can only imagine that is the thing that's keeping any official offers from being put on the table, is how adamant they're being about that. But and now I'm hearing the latest that I've seen is that the Angels are potentially front runners for CodyBellinger. And I'm like, is it because Artie Moreno is the only one who's going to be willing to do that? And he needs to, have somebody, since he doesn't have Shohei Ohtani anymore? I don't know.
Wow.
But what I hope, I don't know. I guess like they still have Mike Trout and all of that. So you don't want to see Mike Trout just out on his own, like, trying to make some magic happen for the Angels. So it's not that I don't want to see another top talent on the Angels, but I don't even see where there are other things.
But he can also play
his skill set, I would think.
I think he also plays first base though.
Yeah.
And I am not well versed enough with the Angels roster, their new roster, to know who their first baseman is. Let us look. Speaking of lettuce, Trey Cabbage, they just DFA'd Trey Cabbage, who played for them last season. They brought him up very, very early. And I want to say that Trey was one of their infielders as well. Let's see. Yeah, see, Trey Cabbage was one of their first basemen / outfielders. So
all right,
let's see here.
Making room for him.
So their first baseman as it stands, or according to Fangraphs roster resource right now, is Nolan Shanuel. And he is basically an on-base machine.
Oh, okay. He sounds like a good player to find.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, they have Taylor Ward currently in left field, Mickey Moniak in right field, and then Mike Trout in center field. Now, they did sign an outfielder. They did sign AaronHicks literally like 10 minutes before we started to record. And we'll go over his contract in just a second. But so I think maybe that will take the place of probably Taylor Ward. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because of the kind of like dangling game that we're playing with Boris this offseason specifically, but there's less clarity on like teams going out to get specifically what they are sought out to get, and more just like weird piecing together of things happening this
Yeah.
offseason than usual as well. But that's probably also a little bit more dependent on the franchise. Like, I'm just thinking a team like the Cardinals is going to go out and we need 3 starting pitchers. We got 3 starting pitchers. How we got it or how they line up is not, as important as we went out. We had a specific goal. We did it. Check the boxes, sort of a thing.
Right.
Or there's other teams like the Braves who are going to,
they're playing murderboard their way.
Yeah, they're playing some other game that's way more even like cognitive than chess that I don't even know exists. So
yeah,
who can say?
I don't even know what the Braves are doing over there, but they're I mean, people have been making moves. Teams have been making moves. We say that things are happening. Well, you know what? Why don't we start with AaronHicks, the one that just happened. So AaronHicks signs with the Angels for 1 year, and the Angels only have to pay him the league minimum of what, $760,000. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
$740. Okay, because AaronHicks is getting paid by none other than the Yankees. So he is getting paid $9.5 million for this season, $9.5 million for 2025, and there's $1 million buyout for 2026 that the Yankees are still on the hook for. If you guys remember, he played for Baltimore last year and turned it around. So in 65 games for Baltimore last year, he hit 7 home runs, slashing 275, 381, and 425, which gives you a 129 WRC plus, which is weighted runs created plus 100 being league average. So he was 29% better than your league average outfielder. And so Baltimore also only had to pay him league minimum because the Yankees were paying him. So this is really like a no-brainer deal for the Angels, and they get some veteran leadership, and it really kind of cracked me up when the Yankees DFA'd him, because Yankee fans were thrilled, absolutely thrilled that they had finally DFA'd AaronHicks, and then he goes over to Baltimore and starts breaking for them. It made me laugh, not gonna lie. Yankee fans, it did. It made me laugh. But good for you, AaronHicks. Good for you. We shall see what you do over there. I'm just saying, like, Tim Anderson to the Angels. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, any day now. That's the pass and tweet that I have my notifications turned on for. Announce Tim Anderson to the Angels, Jeff.
Yeah, I would love that. Now, like I said, they've got a very, very green rookie team. Yeah. They brought up Zach Neto last season as their shortstop, and Luis Rengifo is their second baseman, according to Fangraphs roster resource. I'm just saying, you can sign Tim Anderson, move him to second, and Rengifo becomes a depth piece on the bench. And again, I think Ron Washington is just gonna do all the things and get all of the vibes up.
He better. If anyone can do it, it's Wash.
Yep, I think so. So, did anybody else sign with the Angels?
Kels? The Angels. I thought we had another one. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they did.
MattMoore. Poor MattMoore. Angels give MattMoore 1 year, $9 million. He had a 2.66 ERA, 28% strikeout rate, only a 6.9 walk rate with the Angels last season. And the Angels were trying to get under the luxury tax. So he went to the Guardians, did not do much with them before the Marlins picked him up and had 4 shutout innings there. Great. So overall, he ends the season with a 2.56 ERA, 27.5% strikeout rate, and holds on to that steady 6.9% walk rate in a total of 52 2/3 innings. He's back with the Angels. We were saying that we feel bad for him because who knows, like, I don't know.
Like,
you think he could maybe
how do you pitch for 3 separate teams all in one season? Like, I don't know anything about MattMoore's relationship status. If he has a wife, girlfriend, significant other, I don't know if he has kids, but the fact that he had to try and pitch and not anything on performance, it's literally because the Angels were trying to get under the luxury tax, and then the Guardians were like, we don't need you because we're not in
just kidding.
in
We're not
playoff
doing this
contention
either.
anymore.
Yeah.
So bye. And then the Marlins are like, oh, hey, yeah, we'll take you. So, he has to go from like California to Cleveland to Miami. Like, it can't be easy to go to 3 different teams in one season, try to be the new kid in the class again and again. And is it Stockholm syndrome? Like, is the Angels the only team to give him an offer? Like, I feel like with those numbers, multiple teams would have been in on him. But
I mean, for the number of innings, I mean, $9 million is a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like through his whole career, he's jumped around here and there, but he was an all-star 10 years ago. He'd be another good 40-man find. There's just so many of these guys. We start talking about them, and I'm like, I want to learn more. He does have a wife and a son who was born in 2019. And yeah, I mean, he's 34 years old. He's not like one of these 22-year-old guys just like skipping around.
Yeah. So like, and I don't know where their home base is. So, do they actually live in California? Like, can he see his kids? Like so maybe that's why. Maybe they do live in California, and that's why he went back to the Angels. I don't know. So, but Angels, good on you. Like, you've redone that bullpen. You've signed some guys. Ron Washington's gonna work his magic. I see it. The Nationals have signed outfielder Joey Gallo to a 1-year, $5 million contract with another $1 million available in performance bonuses. Joey Gallo and his schmedium pants have made it around the block. Let me tell you what.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I don't know that anyone's like overly excited about this, but it seems like where he's at can make the difference for him, and maybe he's found a fit with the Nationals.
Yeah. So Joey Gallo and your schmedium pants, I wish you well. Fun fact, when they were playing the Astros, he's a left-handed pitcher or left-handed hitter.
Mm-hmm.
His schmedium pants, man has got some buns. The cake on that man is just chef's kiss. Okay. And there's a guy on TikTok that, I kid you not, I legitimately thought was Joey Gallo for like a hot second before I realized that it was not Joey Gallo. Literally because of his ass. It was
Joey, I thought I saw your ass on TikTok, but it wasn't you.
It wasn't. He does the butt workouts, and he's got like the massive quads. I thought it was Joey Gallo for like a hot second until I realized that it was not Joey Gallo, and it was this trainer guy, and he was just like, work out with me, and I'm all, no thank you, you intimidate me because the ass is too fat. Like, it was very impressive. I hats off, sir. Hats off.
So you're looking for that. There's a guy on TikTok that can hook you up, but he's not. Don't be fooled. He's not Joey Gallo.
No, not Joey.
Another discarded Yankee here who's got another shot. Do you think this is like his last like big shot?
Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't
think
know.
it could be. I don't know.
His strikeout rate, man. I feel bad. I
Right.
feel so bad.
Right. I'm like, I don't care how many home runs he hits. Like,
Yeah. Not getting signed with
he's
the
doing
Mariners
that or he's
anytime soon.
striking out. And
Yeah.
that's not going to hold up in today's game on any team.
No. But all of the relievers. So because the Phillies have signed left-handed pitcher Colby Allard to a 1-year, $1 million contract. And an additional $125,000 available in incentives. Good on you, Colby Allard.
Mm-hmm.
James Paxton.
The Dodgers, we couldn't go a week without talking about him because they had to pick
not.
up James Paxton, left-handed pitcher, 1-year contract worth about $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? There's a bonus of $1 million if he makes the opening day roster. They're going to pay him $12 million, and there's a chance he's not going to make the opening day roster. That sounds like a Dodgers thing to do.
Yeah. So I've really not heard much about this besides speculation that maybe his rehab is not going
Oh,
as
okay.
well as planned. And so if he gets up to par, I don't know, but I was like, that seems really weird. Like, why would you sign someone? It's the Dodgers, so I don't really know anymore. It's the Dodgers. Who
Well,
knows
they
what
are
they're
one of
doing?
those organizations that definitely feel more comfortable investing in pitchers who are working through a number of different issues.
Mhm.
So I could see that. But I mean, yeah, $12 million for what's definitely like a depth piece at best.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
all right.
2024
So
Dodgers.
I was like, is that money deferred? Is he gonna get like 500? Like what? I don't know. But yay, Dodgers! You made another fucking move.
James
Aroldis
Paxton.
Chapman.
Oh, let me tell you another fun fact I
Okay.
just learned about James Paxton real quick.
Okay.
He's Canadian. I don't think I knew that.
I
And
did not know that.
apparently his nickname is the Big Maple.
The
So
Big Maple. Okay. Is that what his teammates in Boston called him? Like,
yes. So I want to know if he's going to be
interesting.
called that, if it's going to stick.
Hmm. Interesting. I don't.
Is Shohei going to call
See,
him the Big
but
Maple?
that's another thing though. Like, why did like Boston needs starting pitching? So why did Boston not re-sign James Paxton?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Uh,
Maybe there's only room for
For,
one Canadian on that team at a time. They got
yeah.
Tyler O'Neill now, but James Paxton also pitched a no-hitter on May 8th of 2018.
Yeah, like I mean, he's not an ace by any means, but he's an innings eater. Like he'll
Yeah.
get you some outs. Whatever. I don't know what the Red Sox are doing. Like
Yeah, he
we're gonna have
would
to
have
have a whole
been
episode on
a
that shit.
valuable piece for a lot of different teams. I guess he seems less valuable on a team like the Dodgers, and it's just like annoying. So I'm sorry, James.
Yeah.
It's nothing against you.
Yeah. Aroldis Chapman to the Pirates for $10.5 million for 1 year.
Chapman to the who?
To the Pirates.
To the what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
Okay, Pirates.
so like, and I
I
feel so
mean,
bad saying this because I
he is
actually really like the Pirates, but
yeah.
so is this like what the Royals did last season?
You
So
got to
basically
think
he's
so.
just gonna get flipped at the deadline and he'll be at with another club.
You got to think so. Yeah, and Chapman is not one of those guys that I feel for, unlike Moore, who I'm like, don't want,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
this is how Chapman can get paid and work in Major League Baseball, by all means, use him. I don't know. Cause yeah, it's not that I don't want the Pirates to do well. I just don't see it as a fit on any level. But
Yeah.
that is it. That has to be it. That he is, think about how valuable of a piece he did become for the Royals when they traded him to the Rangers at the deadline. And if the Pirates can do that again this year, awesome.
But my question now is though, who becomes the setup man? Is Aroldis Chapman because the Rangers didn't use Aroldis Chapman as their closer. Like every
No.
time they tried, he'd have like one good outing and then follow that up with like a blow up outing. And so by the end of the postseason, he ended up being like their setup guy. Like he ended up being like their seventh, eighth, not
Yeah.
really the eighth inning guy either.
Yeah, it was
He was like
more
the seventh inning guy.
yeah, it was more matchup based how he was
And
used.
so I'm like, are they going to replace David Bednar? I don't think they are.
No.
I don't think so, right?
Yeah, no.
But I'm not well enough versed with the Pirates system to know how much David Bednar is getting though. Like it's
Oh yeah, I don't know how much he's getting, but there's no, I mean, he is their closer. He should be their closer.
yeah, and Aroldis Chapman is the setup guy, but then like I don't know. Granted, Aroldis Chapman had decent numbers last season. He ended the season with a 3.09 ERA over 58 and a third innings, striking out a ridiculous 41.4% of batters. And if you watched any of the postseason, you will have seen Aroldis Chapman toe that line of, oh my God, is this it? Is this it? Is this when he implodes? And he never imploded to the tune of, like a walk-off Jose Altuve home run. Like that's
Sure.
But much to my chagrin. But it was very stress-inducing if you were
Yeah.
a Ranger
Oh
fan.
yeah. You think that he's imploded a dozen times already because of how many times he's raised your blood pressure to that point. He is that guy at this point. On top of the fact that like he's just not a good clubhouse guy either. So yeah, I don't know. But David Bednar is in his last year of arbitration. He's making $4,510,000 this year. But I mean, I would think, to me, if I'm looking at, I want David Bednar on my team over Chapman any day.
For sure. It'll be very interesting to see what happens and how.
I think he is a valuable piece
situation.
for a team in a certain position, and that's why he can be used the way that he is as trade bait. So we will keep an eye on that, and I fully expect to see that happen again this July.
So going from a bad clubhouse guy to a wonderful clubhouse guy, HectorNeris, very sad, very, very sad that HectorNeris went to the Cubs. However, very, very, very happy that it wasn't the Yankees or the Rangers, who apparently there were rumors for. So HectorNeris to the Cubs. He gets $9 million for 2024. This made me really sad because he turned down 8.5 from us. Like, so well, okay. What are we doing? Apparently there was like rumors that he was looking for 3 for 50. Honestly, I think the Rafael Montero deal last season just totally fucked us out of getting Neris this season, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But a team option converts to a player option once he hits 60 games, which I think he will do pretty quickly. Then he will get another $9 million for 2025. And then with incentives, apparently he has the ability to get $23.25 million, $23.25 million. I don't think the Astros were going to come anywhere close to that. So I think maybe that's why. But I'm thrilled to see Hector go to the Cubs. It'll be interesting to see in what role they use him.
Yeah. It looks like, he's thrown well over 60 innings for the last 4 seasons, dating back to 2019. Obviously, he did not in that 2020 season, but that's a great contract for him.
Yeah. So he'll look good in that Cubby blue, and he will be a great clubhouse guy. When he came over last year, no, 2 years ago, I'm dumb. He literally took all of the rookie Latin players out to dinner on his dime and asked like the Astros to get vans and caravan, and if they weren't willing to pay for it, he would pay for it, but the Astros took care of it. But he took all of the rookie Latin players and sat them down for dinner and was like the super awesome clubhouse guy, and I will miss his energy. I know as a Cardinals fan, you were less thrilled, but
yeah, you were like, I don't want him to go to the Yankees and the Red Sox. I'm like, I don't want him to go to the Cubs. But
that's fair.
Here we are, especially because he would have been a really great fit for the Cardinals as well, but they are not going to shell that out for him. Don't I know it? But yeah, I think the Cubs are interesting only because like he is absolutely a valuable piece for them on many levels, but they've got some other pieces they need to fill. So they're one of the teams I'm actually the most interested to keep an eye on in the coming weeks, because out of anyone, they're definitely not done.
No,
I would say.
I'll be really interested. Stove, let's go. We need more. We need more.
It's cold over here.
Yes. You want to stick with relievers? Let's stick with relievers, shall we?
Yeah, we got David Robertson to the Rangers. No hard numbers yet, but it is anticipated to be, it's a year contract, anticipated to be worth 11 to 12 million. It is a pending physical. You said 175 saves. Is that his total number of career saves?
See.
Yeah. I mean, he's another one of those guys that I feel like you could slot in on a number of teams, and great pickup for the Rangers. And David Robertson is his own agent. So he's in every dollar, baby. Good for him.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what role he also will play over there for the Rangers, because Jose Leclerc had come in and saved the day, and Josh Sborz had come in and saved the day. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll actually use him as a 39-year-old closer, or if he'll be a 39-year-old setup guy or a 39-year-old seventh inning guy. I think, though, he will be used. He will be happy wherever he's used, or he'll be willing to be.
Yeah, he has slotted in everywhere he's been over the number of the last few years and made himself very valuable. And that in itself is of value. And with a team like the Rangers right now, like how he is utilized, I would anticipate would look different over the course of the first half of the season and the second half of the season, with all the moving parts that they have and the injuries and back and forth there.
Yep, for sure. So let's see. Adam Ottavino goes back to the Mets on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. The right-handed pitcher. Oh, what happened?
Sorry.
I lost my spot. Sorry. I was like, the right-handed pitcher had a 2.06 ERA in 2022, despite a 1-7 win-loss record. He held a 3.21 ERA in 2023 with 62 strikeouts over 61.2 innings. Did you hear the hoopla, though, about what all like his comments about the Mets and all of that fun stuff?
Oh no, fill me in.
Yeah. I'm not super familiar with it. Like, I meant to go back and like watch the actual clip, but the little part that I saw was him basically saying like the Mets clubhouse and like the atmosphere, like the whole thing was just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, which we did hear from other sources throughout last season.
But I don't remember if, I want to say maybe he turned down a player option last season. I think maybe that was it. So now I have to look. But yeah, so I think he lost a little bit of money on this.
I don't know. I think he's a valuable piece in the back half of any bullpen. So I don't know. I want to know what he said about the Mets and how he got his way back into David Stern's good graces. Maybe he needed David Stearns to come in and was like, "You're here. You've saved my interpretation of this Mets team."
Maybe. We'll see.
I am ready to feel very different about the Mets in 2024 than I did in 2023. I'm ready to give them a chance in my heart.
Are you?
I mean, because of the respect that I have for David Stearns, yes.
Okay, that's fair.
And because I loved watching Steve Cohen learn his lesson the hard way. I loved being right, but we can all make mistakes. It's if you learn from the mistakes that matter, right? So that I'm ready to give Steve Cohen a chance to learn from his mistakes. My heart is open to you, New York Mets in 2024.
Okay, uh in 2023, 2023, 20 in 2023-24, it looks like he signed a 2-year, $14.5 million contract. So it's saying that the average salary was 7.25. It does not say any other. It does not give me any other things though, and I'm all. Aha! Yes, here we go. Okay, so December 20th of 22, he signed a 2-year, $14.5 million contract, and then November 6th, he declined a $6.75 million option for 2024.
Damn.
So he cost himself what is that, 2.25?
Yeah, this New York Post article that I found says his decision was not based on finances as much as it was the uncertainty surrounding the Mets heading into 2024 following the midseason trades in 2023 and the lack of activity so far under the new president of baseball operations, David Stearns.
Oh.
And he also noted that some of that 6.75 million would have been deferred. So there's that too.
So looking at Spotrac, the deferral money, upcoming deferred contract in 2025, he gets 500,000, 2026 500, for 27 500, 28 500, 29 500, 30 500, and then in the final year of the contract, apparently, his age 45 year, he gets $1 million.
Huh. Didn't want to wait for it. Doesn't mean as much when you're 45 in whatever year that'll be.
Interesting. So, but yeah,
So all in all, it's probably not that different full value at the end of the day. And that's probably why they offered him that amount. But that is interesting. I mean, that happens every year to one player or another where they decline an option and end up losing a little value.
Interesting.
Did we get all the relievers?
I think so.
We got one more pitcher. The Oakland Athletics have entered the chat. They have signed, or they are signing, Alex Wood to a 1-year deal. No numbers here yet, but Alex Wood did have a 4.33 ERA last season with a 1.43 whip. He had a 6.8 strikeout average per 9 in 29 appearances, and he made 12 starts last season. He is going to slide right into a rather slim Oakland A's rotation. So at least he's going to get a solid place to start. And I'm excited to see him know what his role is, be in a place where he's going to get to start and know that he's going to get to start every 5th day. And I actually found this interesting statistic from the Oakland A's in 2023 that they tied a major league record by using 24 different starting pitchers in 2023. So maybe Alex Wood will help them cut down on that this season.
Yeah. Again, Alex Wood is coming from the San Francisco Giants. And if you know anything about the San Francisco Giants, they had literally 2 starting pitchers, like 2 actual starting pitchers. And then the rest of them, they just kind of pieced together. And so, as a starting pitcher, you have a routine and a thing that you like to do. And the fact that he got bounced around between being a starter and between being, a starter, like 3-inning guy versus an actual starter, an opener. Thank you. He's like, what am I doing today? You just never really know. So I think maybe him knowing he'll start every 5th day.
Absolutely. We talked about this last week. I can't remember who it was in regards to, but yeah, there is no player that would not agree with baseball being a game of consistency more than anything. And we see it in other professions as well, but the opportunities and the way that players are utilized, depending on the opportunities that they have, dictates so much of those hard numbers that you see at the end of the day. And obviously numbers are what get you paid, but there are guys that you look at like this and you're just like, man, what could he be if he was utilized differently? And I will be eyes on him next offseason because we could be looking at a different complete player, especially on paper,
Yeah.
when he is a free agent again next year.
When the Oakland Athletics are playing in Utah and they are the Utah A's or whatever they are. I don't know. So we'll get into that later. It's not a thing I'm willing to talk about right now. Anyways, someone I am willing to talk about though, and a team that I really like. JocPeterson goes to the Diamondbacks for $12.5 million for a year. What I think is hysterical is that they said, bye, Tommy Pham. JocPeterson, come on in. So
I didn't even think about that yet.
Yeah, if you guys don't remember that whole drama, Tommy Pham and JocPeterson were in a fantasy football league, and apparently JocPeterson was like talking some shit, and Tommy Pham said the next time he sees Jock, he's gonna pull up and he's just gonna slap the shit out of him. And sure enough, out in the outfield, Tommy Pham said, I told you what the fuck I was gonna do. And it makes me laugh that it's JocPeterson for Tommy Pham. I giggled.
He is sliding right into that roster spot. You're right.
Yeah. So they obviously did not sign him for his defense. They signed him for his crushing right-handed pitching capabilities. So in 2022, he had a ridiculous slash line of 274, 353 with a 521 slug, which equals a WRC plus of 146. Again, 46% better than your average player against right-handed pitching. He hit 23 home runs and walked 9.7% of the time. And then the Giants said, that was very good. Please do that again for us. And then in 2023, he said, no mas. And his slash line was 235, 348 with a 416 slug, which is still better than the average player. His WRC plus equaled 111, but 11% better than the average player versus 46% better than the average player. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. The Giants were like, what happened? He hit 15 home runs for them, but walked. He upped his walk rate. He walked 13.4% of the time. Fun fact, apparently, in the minors, he stole bases. Motherfucker could run. Did you know that?
No,
I did not know that.
No idea.
And
would not have thought that at all.
Got up to the majors and said, nope, not running, not stealing any bags. Apparently he used to run.
All right, let's see if the Diamondbacks are going to get him back on his running game.
Let's see.
I would love to see that from JocPeterson.
Yeah. So
is he still wearing the pearls? Is he still wearing his pearls? I don't think he had them on last season as regularly.
I don't think so.
He is another one of those guys that like I like want to be annoyed by, but I'm not for some reason.
Like he kind of gives off that fuckboy vibe, but then like not really.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that's a thing, but it's a thing.
I think at the end of the day, the guys who own it and just like are who they are, even if that they are maybe a little bit fuckboy, I'm like, I respect that you are being yourself and you're owning who you are. So maybe that's it.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. Like I said, he crushes right-handed pitching, and but he's not so good at left-handed pitching. Not so good. So it'll be interesting to see who they platoon him with in that DH role. Some names have been batted about. Some names have said that the Diamondbacks are not done making moves.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
and I love
that Jake McCarthy may be a trade piece for somebody else. Just saying. So we'll see.
We're here for it, D-backs.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I sneakily, the D-backs have had a great offseason.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I can't wait until all of those are done and we can talk about it. Okay. But who's back? Who's back, Kelsey?
Who's back?
Mm-hmm.
Rhys Hoskins is coming back. And we forgot about him because he's been gone for so long. He's been down and out and hurt, and the Phillies just had to forget about him. So did we. But he's back, signed with the Milwaukee Brewers to be their first baseman for 2 years, $34 million. There is a mutual option or mutual opt out after the 2024 season. He's going to make $12 million in 2024. He will make $18 million in 2025 or receive a $4 million buyout. So this is a great deal, I think, for both sides. And I'm excited to see him come back and remind us who the fuck Rhys Hoskins is. Because I think a lot of us have forgotten and how much fun that Phillies team was to watch, both with and then still without him. He just kind of fell off my radar. And of course, I don't want the Brewers to get better, but I'm not that threatened that I can't be excited about it. Rhys Hoskins, welcome back.
Right. Bat flip, man. He had not bat flip, bat spike. He had the bat spike of the postseason. And but the Phillies said, JK, Rhys Hoskins, we don't need you because we have Bryce Harper that's now gonna play first for us. Yeah. So but I mean they're the Brewers are doing things, so I'm assuming that means that they're gonna try and go for it just a little bit. Like,
I think they might as well, Suzy. Like, there's not a clear front runner for the National League Central. There just isn't. They are out there as in it as anyone is, and that's where I'm like, are the Cubs gonna come out and strike down that Craig Counsell gavel and say we're here to take it in the next couple of weeks? We'll see. There's a lot that they would have to do to feel that way. So, but even if they do, like, I don't think they can do enough at this point to run away with it. So,
yeah. Well, and I mean, because we had been keeping an eye out to see what they were going to do with CorbinBurns and Christian Yelich. Like, if they did anything with those two players, it meant tear down time, right? But they agreed to Corbin's arbitration number quite easily this season. So I was like, oh, okay.
Do you know much about their new manager, Pat Murphy, who was their bench coach? I've seen a couple interviews with him recently, and you should check out some interviews with him because you will be obsessed with his personality. Like, I want to root for the Brewers now because I like him. Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a hard ass.
I will have to go do
that. Yeah, you can tell like he has a great rapport with the players, and I think they'll be just fine. Like, obviously losing Craig Counsell is a bruise to the ego as much as it is anything, but I think they'll be okay in terms of leadership.
Apparently CorbinBurns and JoshHader are like boys and they go and hunt together.
Yes.
Like fish. I was all
besties.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So I was like, oh, all right. Fun fact. Anyways, Adam Frazier to the Royals. 1 year, $4.5 million. He will be their util, left-handed bat, with a batting average of .240. He hit 13 home runs, 60 RBIs over 140 games for the Orioles in 2023. And good on you, Adam Frazier, that you got money. And I'll be really honest, I was really, really, really surprised that Adam Frazier got as much playing time as he did with the Orioles last season. Especially because how stupid talented all of their young guys are.
Right.
And I was really surprised that Brandon Hyde didn't give some of the young guys more run. But that's this season, I guess. So but apparently he will get he'll get $2 million in 2024 with an $8.5 million mutual option for next season with a $2.5 million buyout. So
yeah,
Adam Frazier to the Royals.
Opportunity for a lot more. And hey, the Royals are going to be another team to watch.
Royals are doing things like again, I need everyone to to go where they're supposed to. Okay.
Solidify everything so
Like,
we can put a pin in it, please.
Yeah. Because I really want to dive down into all of these rosters, but I can't because Blake Snell has not signed. Jordan Montgomery has not signed. Like JD Martinez, Justin Turner.
Oh yeah, Jorge Soler. The Diamondbacks kind of killed my hopes of them signing Jorge Soler with the JocPeterson signing, but that's okay. I mean, he is such a great fit for so many teams, and none more than the Marlins, who clearly should bring him back, but doubtful that they're going to, because I sure hope he can get more money than what they're probably willing to pay him, even though like he was clearly becoming a fan favorite there. It's like really, I don't want to talk about the Marlins. Let's not end this on a bad note.
Okay.
But not that the White Sox are like a way better.
I'm like, so we're gonna end the show on the White Sox.
Well, not that they are in a way better cultural place, but I do believe that they're committed to a cultural rebuild. I'm here for it. However, it has come to light recently that I guess the White Sox GM was quoted saying that they are asking the sun and the moon in trade talks for Dylan Cease. And we were talking about this. We've been talking about this all off season. Like, will he?
Yeah.
Won't he?
Yeah.
Where is he going to be? Are they going to lose value with him by, making him stick around a team he doesn't want to be on for the first half of the season at least? But man, I mean, that at the very least, that rules out a heavy number of teams who are just not going to make those kinds of trades.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your latest take on Dylan Cease?
Tongue in cheek, I think Martin Maldonado is going to turn him into the next Cy Young.
Ooh.
That'll be a thing. Honestly, I really don't know. Like, part of me kind of feels like their asking price for Dylan Cease is going to be so high, so that come trade deadline, it's going to be pushed even farther. Like, I think that's what they're waiting for. So part of me sneakily last season thought that he was like sabotaging himself so that the White Sox would trade him.
Well, I think he was subconsciously, like, I definitely think it was more of a mental thing and like a where I'm at in physically and what I'm surrounded by in the culture of the team as much as anything.
Yeah. Fun fact, he's a cat dad.
Love that, Dylan Cease.
Yeah. There's an iconic picture of Dylan Cease anytime I think of him, like not in his White Sox uniform, where he's wearing like one of those like Newsies like hat. I don't know what they're called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's got like
the lid hat.
Yeah. He's got one of those on and that like epic stash, and he's like holding up the cat, and it's like face is right here, and it's super awesome, and I love it.
That needs to be on our Diamond Daddies calendar.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see. So I think that's what they're waiting on. I'll be really honest. I think they're hoping that Dylan Cease won't implode the first half of the season so that they can trade him at the deadline and get even more for him.
Now pay us for him. All right.
Well, and like I said, for as much shit as I gave Maldi, all of our starting pitchers wanted to throw to him because of how meticulous he was in the prep. And who knows, maybe that will help Dylan Cease. Like maybe he will figure some stuff out. Like, I don't know.
I think it's sometimes when we speculate on stuff like this, some fans, I think it's easy to say like, oh, something that, like that kind of thing can't make a difference. But the reason that there is so many speculations around things like that is because when you are at as elite of a level as Major League Baseball players are at, it is that small of a thing. It is those kinds of things that do make the difference. So I'm with you there. That could be it.
Yep. So again, we ask, we beg, we're pleading because pitchers and catchers report in like 2 weeks.
Scott Boras, you have so much money. Just let Blake Snell know where he is going 10 days from now.
Apparently it's just the Yankees, though. Apparently it's just the Yankees. Just the one offer from the Yankees. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. So we're on free agent watch for a number of big players. Like Jordan Montgomery, I literally think is just begging the Boston Red Sox to give him any sort of decent offer so that his wife, who is a
She's a
medical student,
doctor. Yeah.
is she
She has
she
finished med school, I
okay,
believe.
so
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, is she doing her residency there
I
then
think
in
so,
Boston?
yeah.
Okay.
That's a
So
good
I
point.
really I really think that Jordan Montgomery is like, listen, Red Sox, if you will give me a decent offer, I will be here. And I don't know why the Boston Red Sox are not doing this. Because again, Brian Bayo is your one, guys. Like, I'm not saying that Brian Bayo is not a very good pitcher because he is, but he is young. He's like 24, 25. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, there's probably almost half the teams in Major League Baseball right now, Jordan Montgomery is a 1 or a 2 on, at least.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like, I guess we're putting all our eggs in the Lucas Giolito basket. Is that what we're doing, Red Sox fans?
I just really wanna know, like, how much of it is like, where is the strategy falling right now? Does Scott Boras really still have the upper hand, and this is, like, he just knows this is how he's gonna get the most money? Or have enough owners finally and execs finally caught on to his bullshit, and they're just, like, they're at a standstill? Like, is that what it is? Because that's what I hope
Right.
it is. But
Well, and
I don't know.
you can't tell me that there is not collusion.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah.
cannot fucking tell me that these like owners and like GMs and shit aren't texting their buddies,
I mean,
being all
as they should at
they're
this
asking
point,
me for
like
this. Like, what did they ask you for? You know?
yeah. Scott Boras has made a fool of you all long enough,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel for these guys who don't know where they're going and what the next year, and probably, I mean, for Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, I hope 5+ years for both of them looks like.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, here's another fun question, Kels. What is the difference between a number one and an ace? Or is there any difference in your mind?
That is a good question. Like, off the top of my head, my initial reaction is there's not a difference, but I am more comfortable and committed to using the term ace for someone who has done it multiple seasons in a row.
Right.
That's what I would say the difference is, more of like your franchise guy.
So, like, my question is Robbie Ray a number one or an ace? Or neither? Or both?
He has the potential to be a number one.
Okay. So not an ace?
Not
So,
currently.
like, off the top of your head, if I were to ask you, name some aces, name 5 aces.
Well,
Who are you
that's
listing?
hard because, like, Justin Verlander has absolutely been an ace. Is he going to be an ace in 2024? Like, that part of
Yes,
his
he is. Kelsey, we are manifesting that shit. Okay? That's
same
what
thing
we're
with Max
doing.
Scherzer. Like, I'm not gonna undercut what he has done in his career. He's clearly a first ballot Hall of Famer. Is he gonna be an ace in 2024? He's not even gonna pitch for half the season.
No. So Max
There's a
Scherzer is
guy
not
you
an
can
ace.
be less emotionally attached to.
Mhm. Well, so I mean, as and again, as much as I like to give the Yankees, like Garrett Cole, ace
Yeah.
for
He's a
sure.
perfect example of
You
a
know,
no argument ace.
I'm trying to think of like the one pitchers for all of the like starting teams. So is Nathan Eovaldi an ace or a one?
I think if he has the kind of season that he had last year for the Rangers, then he absolutely should be considered an ace. He's someone who I think is still kind of
See,
undervalued, at
because
least by
in my head, I think he's a one. I don't consider him an ace. Don't ask me why. I don't have any like good, and it's not because he's a Ranger. Like, I just
yeah.
because I think like Luis Castillo is an ace for like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
for the Reds. Jesus, for the Mariners. but like, is
Zach Gallen.
See, I don't think Zach Gallen is an ace. I think Zach Gallen's a 1, but I don't think
Yeah,
Zach
I
Gallen's
guess
an ace.
the other difference is the other like differentiating factor is like how closely you would compare them to the number 2. Are they, like you think about
Okay.
Garrett Cole last year for the Yankees, like there was no one that came close when you think about who you want out there on the mound. But like,
Yep.
depending on the day, and depending on the matchup, I might not be, that hard pressed if Merrill Kelly's out there instead of Zach Gallen.
Mm-hmm.
Just as an
Very good
example.
point.
And the same thing with Nathan Eovaldi. I could see that too. Like, again, depending on the day, depending on the matchup, you don't always prefer him over someone else.
Right. See, I heard this on I heard this question posed on a podcast that I listen to, and I listen to way too many podcasts. So I can't even tell you which one I listened to that like made this stick in my brain. So I apologize to all of the podcasts that I listen to if this was one of the things that
from you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. So but I am really interested to hear/see anybody else's answers. So please put them in the comments. DM them to us. Tell them to us on Twitter. Because I really want to know, if there is a difference between a number 1 and an ace, and what that difference is, or if you think they're one and the same.
Yeah,
And
what
give
are the
me your
hard
list.
qualifications for being an ace? And does it look the same on every team? Because I'm thinking about Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola right now, as often referred to as co-aces. And I wouldn't argue with that because I think they were, at least last season, they were both, well, last season, even more the season before. In 2022, they were both very equally consistent. And then obviously their contributions in the postseason can't be argued. So yeah, a lot of it is like how they size up to the rest of their pitching staff and the rest of, starting pitchers.
Totally, yeah.
In all
Well,
of
see,
baseball.
like Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was the Twins' number 1 last season. Is he an ace? I honestly think
easily be an ace. I mean, if we're comparing it to the rest of the pitching staff, he is like an ace and then some on the Cardinals in 2024. But
comparatively to the league, though,
right?
I don't think I would. I don't think I put him on that ace list. He's a definite number 1, but I don't think I would put him on the ace list. And that's no shade to Sonny Gray, because I know that he did wonderful things last season. But I don't know. It's kind of a thought-provoking question in my brain now, because
it is. I do think consistency is a really big piece that I would consider a value between, of something that makes the starting pitcher an ace over a number 1 or anything else. Like, to actually feel like you can call them an ace is that, regardless of matchup, regardless of weather, regardless of anything, like, you know exactly what to expect.
Yep. Corbin Burns, ace.
Yeah. Not saying that they're not going to have an off day here and there, but it's not even something that you bat an eye at that point, because that's how infrequent it is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna think on this some more, guys, because it is kind of like a brain breaking thing for me now, that I can't even put into words like why I think some of these guys are aces, like, and why I think some of them are considered 1s. And it sounds bad, but I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a good debate. We could try to put some more hard and fast rules on it, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I like things that are clear cut.
Right. If you guys know the difference or think of the difference between number 1s and aces, and if there is or isn't, please, again, put them in the YouTube comments, DM them to us, tell them to us on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, Kelsey, where can they find you?
On the Twitter at K-Bird Tweets. Right here, if you're looking at the YouTube screen. If you're not, it's not K-Bird like a bird. It's K-Bird like BURD. tweets like a bird. At K-Bird Tweets on the Twitter. My solo podcast, Peace, Love, and Baseball, comes out every Tuesday. I am here weekly with Suzy. I do another show called Babes that covers so many aspects of baseball. But if you find me there on the Twitter, you'll find it all. Yeah. Suzy, where can we find you/us?
You can find us at Bourbon in B-Ball. That is the show Twitter that I use as my personal Twitter. I don't actually know why I have a personal Twitter, but I do. So the show Twitter is Bourbon in the letter N B-Ball, and my personal Twitter is baseball_Suzy SUZYQ. Don't misspell it. It will hurt my feelings. Not really, but I will get mad at you. And then you can find the show on Instagram at Bourbon and Baseball Pod. Again, we are holding very, very tough on the Japanese, Korean, and Spain Apple podcast charts. So thank you guys so much for listening and doing all of those things. We really, really, really appreciate you. So United States, I need you to get on fucking board. So if you already haven't, please give us a 5-star rating and leave us nice words. Leave us nice reviews. I would love that. And I said this, if you guys listened to the last episode of Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition, you will have heard me say this, but we have 174 subscribers now on the YouTubes. And the last time I checked, I had like 165 or something, or 166. And I was so, it's like in my 12-year-old brain, I was so excited. And I got a little giggle out of it because I was like, ooh, ha ha ha. It's going to be so funny when I get 169 subscribers.
You missed it.
And we just blew right past it. And I missed it. And my 12-year-old brain was a little disappointed. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. I'm very sorry.
Now we just need to get to 269 is what you're saying.
Yes. Essentially that's what needs to happen. So tell all your friends to please subscribe so that we can get to 269. So my 12-year-old brain will be happy. That's
the new goal.
Appreciated. Yeah. And with that, we will wrap it up. Again, unfortunately, we didn't get to interview Scott Braun today. He was feeling a little bit under the weather, so that is coming soon. Fingers crossed. And with that, now I really am going to hit and record. Yay, baseball!